Good morning, my students. Today we have to discuss about the topic Home, written by Wasan Share. First of all, we have to discuss about the author. Wasan Share. She was born on 1st August 1988 to Somali parents in Kenya, East Africa. As she has spent most of her life in London, she is considered a British Somali poet. She is also an editor and teacher. She defined poetry as a healing agent for the trauma of exile and suffering. She has been writing about the refugee experiences for years. She was named the first young poet laureate for London in 2014. She has received many awards. Okay, these are all about the poet, and we just move to the introductory session. The present refugee crisis poses big challenges for the international humanitarian community. Nearly 68.5 million people had been driven away from their home by the end of 2017. It is more than double the population of Australia. That is, every minute, 24 people around the world are forced to flee their homes. That means 34,000 people a day. Like that, Home. Our poem Home was written in 2016. Regarding her poems, Shire herself says, I am from Somalia, where there has been a war going on for my entire life. I grew up with a lot of horror in the backdrop, a lot of terrible things that have happened to people who are really close to me and to my country and to my parents. But they don't know what they have been victims of or what they have done to other people. So, these are all about our poem and the background of our poem. Shire has used the device of enchantment to convey the continuing senses of movement. The absence of a rigid structure connotes to the harmlessness, statelessness, and unspeakability of a trauma of the refugees. She has used repetitions effectively. Tone, imagery, and figurative languages are used to get the attention of the reader about the terror that immigrants face while leaving their home. I think you get it. Now we can move to our poetry section. Home. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. You only run for the border when you are the whole city running as well. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. You run for the border only when you see the whole city running. Nobody is ready to escape from his own home and his own hometown. Only when there may be some problems, there may be some crisis. Your neighbors running faster than you, breath bloody in their throats. The boy you went to school with who kissed you are dizzy behind the old tin factory is holding a gun bigger than his body. You only leave home when home won't let you stay. That means your neighbors are running faster than you. Maybe your neighbors are also running. They are struggling for breath. Like that. Your classmate who kissed you behind the old tin factory is now holding a gun bigger than his body. That is, your old classmates. Maybe now he may be your rival. Then the poet says, you only leave home when home won't let you stay. You leave home only when your home will not let you stay there. No one leaves home unless home chases you. Fire under feet, hot blood in your belly. It is not something you ever thought of doing until the blade burned threads into your neck, and even then you carried the anthem under your breath, only tearing up your passport in an airport toilet. Sobbing as each mouthful of paper made it clear that you wouldn't be going back. No one leaves home unless home chases you. She repeats, no one leaves home unless home runs you. Fire under feet. There is fire under your feet and hot blood in your belly, in your stomach. It is not something you ever thought of doing until the blade burned threads into your neck. It is not something that you wanted to do until you were threatened with a blade at your neck. Even then, you carried the anthem with you. In the time of escaping or flee from your or migrating from your hometown or home country, that time also you carry your national anthem. That shows in the time of your departure, you just carry the national anthem. That shows that much you love your own country. Only tearing up your passport in an airport toilet, sobbing as each mouthful of papers made it clear that wouldn't be going back. But then you had to tear up your passport in an airport toilet. You were crying because you knew you would not be going back to your country. Okay, that's all about this stanza. Now let's move to next stanza. You have to understand that no one puts their children in a box unless the water is safer than the land. No one burns their palms under trains beneath carriages. No one spends days and nights in the stomach of a truck feeding on newspaper unless miles traveled means something more than journey. No one crawls under fences. No one wants to be beaten, pitied. You have to understand that no one puts his children in a boat unless water is safer than the land. No one wants to burn his palm traveling beneath the carriages in trains. That is, nobody ready to put his children in water. Why? Because water is not safe. But they are even ready to put their children in water. Why? Because they think land is not safer, water is safer than the land. No one burns their palms under trains beneath carriages. No one wants to burn his palms traveling beneath the carriages in train. Like that, no one spends days and nights in the stomach of a truck feeding on newspaper unless the miles traveled means something more than journey. No one wants to spend his days and nights in a truck eating nothing unless the distance he traveled means something more than just a journey. No one wants to crawl under fences and get caught and beaten. That is, nobody is ready to crawl under the fences. No one wants to crawl under the fences and get caught and beaten and pitied. I think you understand this stanza also. Now let us move to next stanza. No one chooses refugee camps or strip searches where your body is left aching, or prison, because prison is safer than a city of fire. And one prison guard in the night is better than a truckload of men who look like your father. No one could take it. No one could stomach it. No one's skin would be tough enough. That is, nobody chooses refugee camps. No one wants to be searched naked. Nobody wants to suffer the physical pain, or nobody wants to live in prison. But they live in prison because prison is safer than a city of fire. They think prison is a safer place than the city. And one prison guard in the night is better than a truckload of men who look like your father. They think like that. A prison guard is better than a truckload of men who look like your father. And no one could take it. No one could stomach it. No one could digest it. No one's skin would be tough enough. No skin is tough enough to suffer all these problems. Okay, that's all. Then, the go home blacks, refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, sucking our country dry, niggers with their hands out. They smell strange, savage, messed up their country, and now they want to mess ours up. How do the words, the dirty looks roll off your backs? Maybe because the blow is softer than a limb torn off. Listen. The go home blacks, refugees, dirty immigrants, these are the names called by the natives. When they see the refugees, the natives ask them to go back home. They call them all sorts of names like dirty immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, etc. They complain that the refugees suck their country dry. They call the refugee people who have come to plunder their land. They complain that the refugees smells strange. They are savage. They are savage who have messed up their own country, and now they want to mess up the country to which they have come. The refugees suffer all these insults and the dirty looks because they are softer in comparison to being maimed by cutting one's hand and legs. They think insults are easy to suffer than cutting their body into pieces. Or the words are more tender than 14 men between your legs. The words are tender compared to 14 men raping a girl. These words, these insulting words, are more tender than 14 men between your legs. These words, these insulting words are tender. That is very easy, or that it is very easy to suffer, while compared to 14 men raping a girl. Oh, the insults are easier to swallow, the rubble. than born, that your child body in pieces. That is, these insults are easy to swallow. The insults are easier to swallow than the rubble, that is the stones, and than born. Okay, these insults are easier or being made your young body into pieces. I want to go home, but home is the mouth of a shark. Here the poet expresses her great desire to go home, but home is the mouth of a shark. Home is the barrel of the gun, and no one would leave home unless home chased you to the shore, unless home told you to quicken your legs, leave your clothes behind, crawl through the desert, wade through the ocean. She expressed she want to go home, but home is the mouth of a shark. Home is the barrel of the gun. No one would leave home unless home chased you to the shore, unless home told you to run faster and leaving your clothes behind. The refugees have to crawl through the desert. They may have to crawl through the desert and they may have to wade through the ocean. They may have to wade through, that is, go through the ocean. They may drown. Sometimes they are drowned. Save, be, hunger. Sometimes they may be drawn, save, be, hunger, beg, forget pride. Your survival is more important. So, sometimes they are drowned. They may die. They suffer a lot. They suffer hunger. They have to beg, forgetting their pride, because survival is more important. They may have to beg for their food, for the survival, because that is more important. No one leaves home until home is a sweety voice in your ear, saying, leave, run away from me now. I don't know what I have become, but I know that anywhere is safer than here. At last, in the last stanza, the poet expresses that no one leaves home until home is a sweety voice in your ear saying, leave. No one leaves home until home becomes a sweety voice, always telling you to leave it, to leave from your home. It asks you to run away from her, to run away from home. Whenever our home or city or town says us to leave from there, how to go from there, and we becomes a refugees or migrants. I don't know what I have become, but I know that anywhere is safer than here. She herself says she don't know what she have become or what she has become, but she knows one thing: anywhere is safer than here. That means anywhere is safer than her own home. Anywhere is safer than her own nation. Anywhere is safer than her own city. So, according to our poet, a home or a nation should be safer, but here it is not safe. She says, anywhere is safe than her own home and city, or her own home and nation. So that's all. I think you get the poem. Thank you.